In today's Riff Flick, aptly titled Jay Can Do It, not only does cute little Jay have an ugly little dog, but he also plays with a cute little ducky.
So if you're ready to be cuted to death by cloying little animals, let's roll the film.
Oh really? That's good, because Chris can't.
Hey!
Photographed?
So we're going to watch a picture of a movie? I want this to be the theme song of my life.
You're gonna switch from Mbop?
I'm thinking about it.
Hey, the old village, there's my house.
The McLeod family lives on the outskirts of a large city.
And a large fireplace.
Jay, the youngest of the three boys, helps with the family chores and brings in the firewood.
While Dad sits on his rump and barks criticism.
If you want to read the paper, Jay, you're going to have to do it inside the fireplace.
He knows how to stack the wood.
Whoa, expecting a
There'll be
flood,
enough
Jay?
draft between
Dad,
the
too.
logs to help the flame catch and to keep the fire burning steadily.
I remember back in the day when kids used to wear bright red socks and play with matches.
A word of caution from Dad not to get too close.
Don't get emotionally entangled with the fireplace, Jay.
Jay has watched his brother Paul assemble a hi-fi set, which he's making from a kit. A bit complicated for Jay. All the wires and circuits have to be
Did
put
he say
together
wires?
exactly right.
Yeah, and earlier
in
he
order
called
to
it
get the high
firewood.
fidelity tones on the speaker.
Ah!
The pointer on the voltmeter shows when the connection is complete and also the amount of electricity.
Will it be enough to resuscitate the dead? Only time will tell.
A young Stanley Milgram practices his human behavioral experiments.
This thing really works, Jay. I'll have the Beatles reunited in no time.
Both Paul and Jay are pleased when it works.
I'm pleased that it works.
Paul is hungry and suggests that Jay make some cookies. Jay likes to cook and soon has a package of coconut macaroon cookie mix in the bowl. He adds water and stirs the mixture into a smooth batter.
Define smooth.
Okay, we get it. He's stirring.
A spoonful for each macaroon.
His family wishes Jay would remember to wash his hands after a serious session
Makes the
of nose
rows
picking.
even.
I swear when I get on that clock tower, the world will pay for its injustice.
There's no trick to making cookies.
Even a
You follow the
blowtard like Jay
instructions
can
on the
do it.
box and heat the oven according to directions. In they go.
The oven is made out of old C-3PO parts.
Paul's mumbling to himself. He forgot his lithium again.
Have you ever chewed on your own cheek flesh?
In 20 minutes, it's time to take them out.
And time to put Jay in.
Ow, 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 ow.
They look delicious.
If only they weren't filled with Jay's scabs and fingernails.
Ah, the Siri heat! My gum tissue!
Pretty good.
Sounds like Jay's voice is changing.
He looks like he's half boy, half beaver.
That's not nice. He made us cookies.
You're right, I'm sorry, Jay. Just wait until the 80s, when they invent something called an orthodontist.
It's funny how Paul and brother Mark always appear just when the cookies are coming out of the oven.
Especially since Jay doesn't have a brother Mark.
Paul and Mark also appear anytime there are ancient Mayan tapestries on the
That
wall.
Jay is a cook. Jay suggests they leave a few for the chef.
Wait, isn't he the Oh, I get it. Clever kid.
Paul and Mark enjoy their free time before heading off to BYU in the fall.
It isn't easy to pound a nail in straight.
Or transition cleanly from one
Dad
idea to
comes
the
the
next.
rescue. If you hold your hand further back on the handle, it will give you a better balance.
So you won't keep falling over? I don't get it.
Wait a minute. Try again. After you get the feel of it, you can strike the head squarely and not bend the nail or nick the wood.
Or shatter the skull.
Mr. Puff Puff certainly seems interested in the carpentry lesson.
From the waist down, Dad's going to church. But from the waist up, he's going to an oyster roast.
He's probably just an alcoholic.
It's fun to build things.
Like a big piece of wood with
Put your
nails
clothes
in it.
away.
I nailed Mr. Puff Puff to the sidewalk.
and the board.
Speaking of bored, how much longer do we have to watch
The
this?
suspense of waiting for anything to happen is really
Jay's
killing me.
friend Carl comes over to help him build a treehouse.
First, they need to plant a tree.
Apparently, Carl doesn't have a father to show him how to hold a hammer.
Fifi wants to be included in everything the boys do.
So they nail him to the treehouse.
No, Jay, you'll get man smell on him and his mother will reject him.
At this rate, Carl and Jay plan to be finished with their treehouse by 1975.
Carl climbs the tree despite his debilitating Wegener's disease. Will he make it?
It's awkward climbing with the tools and boards,
Awkward.
but the boys have learned to be careful.
Fifi could use a bath.
Big time.
It looks like Chris is scrubby.
Hey!
Ah!
They've planned their house well, and Jay starts to work on the platform.
And Carl starts to scratch his poison sumac.
We can play Lord of the Flies!
And the only ones allowed in our club will be guys with high waters and Red Sox and poodles and guys who like baking cookies and John Lennon.
Carl cuts out the scrubby branches to make room for the treehouse. Just think, this'll be our hideout, and we can come up here to get away from everyone and tell our secrets.
What kind of secrets?
So I murdered him for his Hot Wheels and buried him in the lake.
No way!
Look, Jay, Fifi is running away. Someone left the gate open. We must catch him.
Catch him!
Don't forget the saw, Carl! You're gonna need it!
The boys hurry, but Fifi had a head start. He's been lost before.
Whoa! Behold the Emperor of High Waters!
Hurry!
Paul
It's a
decides
fashion
to call the
emergency!
police.
He's calling the police for a runaway dog?
Paul has a history of overreacting.
We
Yes,
think O.J.
police
Simpson
happened to
killed
be
your
in the
dog.
neighborhood And picked up Fifi. They'll take care of him until
We
the
booked
boys
Fifi
come
on
to the
suspicion of
police
pooping
station
on a
for him.
Piggly Wiggly.
That's the kind of car I want.
Now remember, man,
Mark goes
Popo's
along.
gonna push, but don't you tell him nothing.
It's Jay's first visit to the police station, and he's
And it won't be his last.
How good it is to have Fifi back.
She was missing for over 17 seconds.
Ow, my torn labrum.
My helmet brings me life.
Jay looks at the officer with great respect.
For criminals.
This is the real thing, and a lot more exciting than a television program.
As long as the program is Tammy.
When I grow up, I want a helmet.
Jay thanks the officer for taking care of Fifi. Secretly, Jay plans to be an undercover agent when he grows up.
That's a secret he'll probably tell Carl back at the treehouse.
Next time, there'll be a $60 animal processing fee plus a $300 leash violation citation.
Jay is musical and likes to play for the family, who encourage his music because it gives him a special
Isn't Jay
skill.
great, Uncle Pete?
Yeah, he is.
You know,
Hey, we used to have that carpet and that lamp when I was little.
yeah, we used to have that record player.
I used to have that overbite.
It's a weird way to play. Whoa. Time warp. Playing.
I don't want to play anymore.
Weren't you just sitting over there?
You were freaking me out, so I moved.
I see you reversed all the paintings on the wall, too.
I'm a sorceress.
Coloring Easter eggs is really interesting.
Especially in December.
Jay handles the eggs carefully so they'll not break.
Sadly, he didn't do the same to his baby sister.
Oh, that's sad. He's trying to dye Easter eggs in his dad's scotch.
Aw, Jay.
First, a pink one.
And by pink, I mean not white.
Mark has learned to be patient because he knows it's best for Jay to go slow and do it right.
Mark learned this the hard way after Jay botched his emergency appendectomy.
Then Jay tries two different colors, pink and green. and discovers they make a faded lavender.
Faded lavender?
That sounds delicious.
Later, the family uses Mom's hair as an ironing board.
Another green one fills the box. There's a lot to learn about the blending and mixing of colors.
And about the dangers of rubbing egg dye into your sensitive eyes.
On Easter morning, Jay finds most all the eggs that were hidden in the garden.
That's because he hid them himself.
The landscape of Jay's backyard is really depressing.
Too bad Mark and Paul aren't up yet to watch the fun.
They were up to almost 9:45 last night, drinking cocoa and playing Clue.
Jay continues the egg hunt into his neighbor's yard.
A pox on your house.
Jay goes next door to see the little bird that fell out of its nest. Mrs. Dowell rescued the little bird and is trying to save its life.
By making it swallow a pair of
It's
forceps.
difficult to raise a wild bird.
NWO,
This
New
must
World
be fed
Order.
every hour. She feeds it bird food and milk.
She used to feed it eggplant food and gasoline,
first, the
but
little
that
bird
didn't work
doesn't
out very
want
well.
You crack me up, Tweety.
I think Jay is losing it.
This is the way a bird holds its beak open to be fed by its mother.
Nah.
Dang, how much can he eat?
I look like Betty Ford.
Mrs. Dowell uses a medicine dropper for the milk.
Gentle, Mrs. Dow.
Later, Jay's family enjoys a hearty meal of fried baby bird.
Oh, that's so sweet.
I wish it was still the 50s. Today the family would be
Easter dinner.
discussing custody options.
The boys discuss plans for their summer vacation. And Dad sees that everyone has a chance to express his choice.
Except for the women.
In this family, every day is full of interesting activities.
Like inviting random old people
New
to
ideas
Easter dinner.
to explore, old skills to enjoy,
Greasy hair to mold.
and the fun of doing worthwhile things together.
Watch me headbutt this Easter lily, Jay. Did you see that? I headbutted that Easter lily.
Uh-oh, better call the cops. Fifi's on the loose again.
Well, that was pointless.